of our beaded strands. Now, what I will tell you, friends, is that they are pretty close in measurement, okay? So let me kind of try to push them together here. Okay, so as you can see, it's just a smidge, and I mean a smidge, not even a full bead. This strand less than this strand, but I'm not terribly worried about it at all because of the design, right? We're doing basically 2 beaded strands on this side, and essentially we're going to wrap around links on this side, right? And then we also have the chain, right? So this is kind of an idea of what it's going to look like, okay? So let's get going. So easy thing first, friends, is let's go ahead and finish off our second strand. And also, by the way, guys, before I pull it down, notice what I did. I did a little asymmetrical situation. So notice how I have like 3, 3, and 3 of these greens, some gold fire polish, and then the red in the center. So on this strand, and then again, this both sides over here is going to have my chain. So this will go this direction. Therefore, I decided to go just 2 silver, 2 green. Then there's that beautiful oval red crystal, a check glass, and silver, so that these red are kind of diagonal from each other. And then 3 of the green rondelles. So just completely, there's just no methodology in my pattern. I think it's just going to just be so pretty. So pretty. Connected right here. So what I'm going to do is I am going to go ahead and grab my wire guardian and my crimp. So I have obviously finished up the first side, right? Just a wire guardian and crimp. Did my simple beading. And I will give you measurements in a minute, friends. We were going to go ahead and let's put on our crimp tube. We'll let that drop down. Then I'm going to feed my wire guardian on, and I'm going to attach my chain to this before I close this up or feed it back through my crimp. And this is the same concept if you want to add a clasp, dangles, anything before you crimp it, because it really does help, guys, to secure things. If you're like married to the design, this is a great opportunity to add whatever you want to that wire guardian, because remember, the wire guardians, they take all the wear and tear and abrasion of the wire, right? So now that I have fed my crimp on, let it drop, I got my wire up and around my wire guardian, and now I have my tail over here, right? So now I'm going to take, while that tail is there, I'm going to grab the other piece of 4-link chain that I cut, and you can, cut that however you want. And I'm going to go ahead and just feed it right down that tail, and then it'll pop right into the loop right there of that wire guardian. So now it's nice and secure in there. And we'll just finish it off like we normally do. So I'm going to go ahead and put my tail through my crimp and my first bead. And then we're going to go ahead and pull a little bit here. And we're not going to make it too tight. We're going to leave some play, because I do have that pretty gold wire underneath. So that should be really pretty, peeking through just a smidge. But I don't want to make it too tight. So I'm going to leave a little bit of a gap there, about a fingernail space, friends. Okay. And now I'm going to go ahead and find my tool. And you can use any crimping method you want, and we'll just crimp that off. Okay, I suppose since we hear that clicking, I shall move my chain out of the way before I mess up my crimp here. So we're just going to crimp this off. Go round and round until I don't feel any more resistance. It does take a little practice dealing with the magical crimper, but once you get it, you're good, you're golden, you'll love it. Nice, secure pro finish. Okay, and so now I'm done with my crimping, and chains on, and then we'll clip the excess. My bad. To the end of my chain is 4.5 inches, right? And then what I did was I went ahead and laid 2 components next to that. And then the third bead, right? And then I know I have my clasp, which is going to take me right to just over 6.5-ish. And that's perfect. Now, if it ends up being too long, it's fine. That's why I cut 4 links, because we can always cut a link or 2 of this chain off. Very easy modification, okay? But I'm gonna start with that and not use any jump rings. I'm just gonna connect all my loops together on my links. So I'm gonna show you, I'm gonna keep you up, but I'll push you down just a smidge, so I can show you how I'm making my loops. So here's my 1-step looper. It's the 1.5 millimeter. So this is a flat head pin, right? And they are really thick, so I am struggling a little bit, but I'm just putting that right in there to where the edge of that flat head pin is right where it's gonna cut. You see where that jaw's coming up? Right here? That's where it's gonna cut, okay? And so that's where I'm making my loop. So I'm gonna go ahead and just squeeze it, okay? And then I'm gonna take, while the wire is in here, I'm just gonna pull this back a little bit. That just straightens my loop, makes it straight on my pen. And what's happening, because these are so thick, and I probably need to lubricate this a little bit, I'm just having to grab my chain nose and pull it off the pin there. No big deal, so long as I'm not distorting it, and I'm not, okay? And now I will feed my bead on, okay? So there's my bead. And now I am going to take the other side, and we will make sure that this bead is all the way down here towards our loop that we already made, okay? We're gonna hold our bead, and this is where we have to be careful, guys, not to crack our beads and get them too close to the jaws here, because it will crack your bead. But I've got you up pretty close here. Can you see there? Can you see how I pushed my wire right like that? I've got the bead all the way down. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and squeeze, and as I'm squeezing, watch what I'm doing with my left hand here. I'm pushing my bead up. Okay, so I protected my bead, and I am gonna go ahead and just gently bend it. Just gently, because otherwise it'll break. And go ahead and let's get that lifted off of there. I don't know why this is doing this, so weird. I think it's because literally my head pins are so thick, these specific head pins, but I can get in there and squeeze it off. Okay, and so now there we have. So that's how to use the 1-step looper. It takes a little practice as well. And most of the time it will go ahead and close your loops. Sometimes they might leave them open a little bit, but I'm not worried about it because we need to open them anyway to get everything attached, okay? So I'm gonna pick you up, and now I am going to press you back down to the mat to give this construction mode. Ha! Okay, so I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna start right here, and see these are the trimmings that the 1-step looper cut off, so we don't need those. And we'll go ahead and, like I said, I think I'm going to go with, you know, the gold there, the silver in the middle, and then this fire polish, or this table cut here. This table cut check glass, okay? So that's what I'm going with. Okay, so now, in order to get this connected, all I'm gonna do is start to open up my loop. So I just need my pliers for that, right? So I am going to open up each loop, and for this first one, I'm gonna open my loop, and then I am gonna grab the last link of each piece of my chain, and I'm gonna feed it right there on my loop. And then we'll close our loop and make sure our loop is perfectly closed so that that thin chain does not come off. I'm dealing with such a small spot. The first one. Now I'm just gonna open up the loop on the second one, or the other side of the same bead here, and then just grab my next loop and slide it on there. These are so thick, I do have to open them up a little more. And slide that on there like that, and then we'll close the loop. we can turn it to the side just to make sure it's nice and closed. And same thing with the bead that we just fed on there. We'll make sure that that loop is nice and closed. Okay, and so now I've got my loops connected there. Now we'll move to the next one. We'll go ahead and open that loop. And then I'll feed on this table cut check glass right there. We'll go ahead and get that loop closed. Okay, that looks good. This loop over here looks like it needs a little adjusting. Okay, I think that's good. Looks good to me. And then over here, this is what I'm going to want to make sure this last loop on my last link here now. I'm going to want to make sure he is really close because this is where a jump ring is going to go. Or, you know, we could actually add the clasp directly to that. Let's do that. Let's just see if that works here because I don't see why not. And we'll just add one jump ring on the other side. So let's just go ahead and add the clasp, see if we've got enough room here on this small, you saw how small I made my loops, and this pave magnetic clasp is a little bit of a thick loop on it, but I'm gonna try it. All we do is try, and let's see if I can get this closed and finagle with it here. I think I can get it, guys, yeah. Absolutely. All right. Man, you know what? Things are working out. This has just been a really great beading week. I'm just saying. I don't always hit it, guys. And you know what? I'm not mad at that. I usually put a jump ring, but you know what? That's okay because if we wanted to change the clasp, we just have a loop right there. All we have to do is open it on our connecting component there, a little connector. Okay? And so let me go ahead and pull you guys up. So super easy, right, guys? And let's do this. Let's do the quick try on test, just, you know, because I have to. And let's see. Yeah, so see, look, that was kind of a good decision because I don't have much play here, guys. And you know what? If we put a jump ring, actually, you know what we can do, guys? We can probably use a really large jump ring. And man, that worked out well. I also could go back here. We can add a jump ring here. Okay, but I think we're good. I don't think I want to fuss with it too much. Let me grab the most giant jump ring I have at the moment in front of me. I know I've got some 10 millimeters, but I just can't put my eyes on them right now. I am working on my cleanup, guys, and my organizing. Let's see if that works. Let's see if it's still too short. So I'll just add that 8 millimeter. And we will grab the other side of the bracelet and feed one and then 2 wire guardians through. Grab another pair of chain nose here. And close that up, and let's see if my length is good. I love these jump rings because they click, they like click and like lock. I've said that so many times, I need to stop saying it and just order some more and get them in the store so you guys can share in the joy of how much I love these jump rings. Okay, and there you go. That's our bracelet. And here's what I love about this, you guys, is that clasp becomes part of this design, doesn't it? It's just so festive. And in fact, I think I might actually want to go ahead and use a second jump ring. But let's do the try-on test and see what this is going to look like. I mean, it's pretty snug, so yep, absolutely. Let's go ahead and grab one more of these trusty locking 8 millimeters, and they're 24 karat gold plated, so that's all positive. We didn't need that, but we do need one for our dangle. And didn't need to go back and make any mods, so that was awesome. I hope you guys enjoyed. I think this is so beautiful. So let's do it the easy way. Let's go this direction. And I suppose I'll open that one first. And then I'm going to go ahead and close that. And now we'll add this jump ring to the bracelet itself. So right there are my wire guardians. And then we'll go ahead and pop this jump ring with the clasp on it on the other side. And that should give me just the room I needed. So those are some pretty cool measurements, guys. I'll give them to you one more time if you really like this. And look at that. Look at, isn't that just beautiful? It's so much dimension. It's so festive. You know, we also could have done a fourth link. You know, you can do less beading, more links. I just wanted to give you guys some more design inspiration and some ideas putting together this bag that was so rondelle heavy. I gave you guys tons and tons of rondelles, and I'm fully aware because I curated the bag. But there's really so much you can do. There really is. You've got to just try to be patient and get your design juices flowing. And now let's see, by adding that, look at that. That was way, way better, my friends. And you know what? Look at this. Let's look at this. Look at how gorgeous that looks. So festive and pretty, you guys. And I like the way we added the extra jump ring, so this lays beautifully here with the wire guardians. The clasp, even if we wore it like this, how beautiful is that? I'm not mad at that either. I mean, that looks beautiful. And as we just continue to twist around, we've got a little pop of the silver chain here. And then we've got the beaded portion here. It's just absolutely stunning. I'm loving this design. And of course, for our fun dangle, we're gonna put that right there on that chain. That ought to be fun. So let's pop that guy on there. And I'm gonna see if I can get away with a 2mm. And again, notice how I have gold in the findings, right? So my clasp, my jump rings, my eye pens I made, and my wire guardians, all of that, my jump rings, all of that is gold, right? But then we've got silver bead caps, we've got silver chain, silver beads. So the balance of silver gold is perfect. We've got the silver rhinestones and that pave clasp, so I think we're doing okay. I think we're doing just fine, guys. So I'm just going to pop this on right in the middle. I'm going to put it through both pieces of the chain. Here's a nice fun idea for you guys on another option for another bracelet. You know, I'm with my bracelets. Look at how pretty this is. I cannot, you guys. Look. And there's my dangle. Now the dangle's right there. Just so beautiful. I hope you guys enjoyed today's tutorial and design inspiration of how to make a beautiful beaded combination link bracelet with a dangle. We used a little bit of everything, right? Some jump rings, wire guardians. We've got a little chain. We've used some head pins with the one-step looper, and that is our finished bracelet. I will see you guys tomorrow for some more fun designing. Until then, friends, be well.